Okay, Coach, well fought. I think you guys went hard at it. A couple of things on the field, lineouts again. Somebody mentioned to us that you should have gone for 7-man lineouts rather than 4-man lineouts because you had extra men over. Little things like that. The decision making on the field, the leadership. What do you attribute the wrong decisions to, if I can call it that?
Yeah, so the biggest thing with me is we've got a massive leadership group that I was talking about, and we trust them explicitly. You know, we talk about certain situations on the field. I mean, we had 2 yellows last weekend. We learned a lot on how to deal with that. I mean, shots couldn't breach us, which was last week. So we kind of spoke about it. What would we do in situations? So there was a plan. You know, we just didn't execute.
And this week you got breached 6 times. So there's a bit of a turnaround on the defence side. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I mean, we slipped a few tackles in that first half, especially, you know, just one-on-one stuff. We'll have a look at that. That was disappointing at times, you know. The guys were valiant out there. They really, really tried hard. I mean, Jose broke his nose early on in the game and he stayed for the whole game, you know. We had another bloke who did his shoulder and he stayed the whole game. So there's a couple of guys that possibly the guys wouldn't have seen how hard they were trying. I mean, Corbus played 100 minutes, you know, as a forward. So that's massive for us. That's massive. There's a lot to take out of this, which was really, really good. Could it have been better? Of course we could have. We could have been a lot more accurate. We broke the line a couple of times in that first half. And we possibly could have put the game to bed with a bit more accuracy and patience.
Well, good luck. Well done on the season. I think at least you did well to get here. And next year in the UFC is going to go well. I've got no doubt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coach, having had such, rather successful regular season, is it tough to take when you come to Loftus, huge expectations, very experienced team, and the boys just can't get it over the line to get a second final in the year?
Yeah, I don't know about success, on how we all measure success, but I don't think for us this was a successful season. Did we do well in terms of the season at times? Yes, incredible. We grew a couple of guys that were younger. I mean, we saw Katleko come in today and it looked like a world beater, you know. So those are some of the things that we look at and we go, right, we were able to unearth a couple of guys. Just even Butter, the confidence to say, give it to me right at the back end, that for me is more important. You know, he's going to grow. And it's going to get better and better in terms of how he influences the game. There are a couple more other guys, you know. Like I said, this game was weird because we had it in our hand and then we kind of let it go. That's the part that's disappointing.
And Coach, a lot of experienced campaigners, a lot of quote-unquote URC players were being blooded in the last 2 weeks. Is it also tough on those players? A lot of people from the outside look at a good team on paper, but don't factor where they might be in terms of their match fitness. Was it probably too soon for them to play these 2 high-intensity games that matter so much?
No, I don't think too soon. I'll put it this way. The Lions, the Sharks, they've had a longer pre-season because we played right up until the back end, which was a final. You know, so it meant we had probably 4 less weeks. So they were back for a month before we came back. So they've had time to prepare, you know, and our guys came in and, like I said, they were valiant out there, you know. We always knew they were going to be undercooked in terms of game time, but the effort, you know, the resilience, you can't fault the guys at all.
And lastly, Coach, how would you rate your first experience as a Currie Cup coach? What are also your takeaways from the season that you've had going forward?
Yeah, the takeaways, it's a difficult question to ask that now, you know, to ponder on what the season was like, because in your head you're preparing to win a game and then you want to look at next week. Yeah, I'll repeat what I just said inside there. I thank the medical staff, I thank the SNCs, I thank the coaching staff, you know, I thank the director with the CEO and the board, because everyone was behind me, you know. And again, a loss obviously comes down to one person, which is the head coach. That's a tough part. I'll probably be sleepless nights for a while. But we'll get over that.
Coach, put yourself in our chair and criticize yourself for the season. What were the major things that you feel you did wrong during the season, and what were the major things that you feel you did right?
Yeah, so I try not to work too much on wrong or right. We want to improve every single game because you can always find something if you're looking for something. So that continuous growth is important. And again, we wanted to blend the squad as much as possible because we knew we would get to a situation like this. We haven't been able to field the same 23 back-to-back all season. And it's not just because of rotation, because of how hard we've been hammered with injuries, you know. Put myself in your shoes, you know. The growth for me would probably would have come around trying to get an identity earlier with the squad so that we knew what we were about, because we came together massively well, you know, and we didn't always show bravery, and that was another thing today when we had them at 12, or at least they had 12 guys on the park and we had 15. I just wish we had been more brave to then play.
Thanks, Lunka. Phiwe, just there was that period late in the game where you got dominance in the scrum, deep in their 22, scrum again, go for the yellow card, get the yellow card, everything's going according to plan, scrum again. What happened to the ball at the back of the scrum? Because I mean, surely that was push-over try must have been the plan, or should have been the plan, but for some reason the ball came out the back of the scrum. Do you know why? What happened there?
Do you think we could have got a pen for that, Ken?
A penalty for the scrum?
Yeah.
No, I actually think that scrum went straight back, as opposed to the other two, which the Sharks obviously didn't want to go straight back. So you got your penalties. But that third one, I think they kind of resigned themselves to, we can't get another card, so we're going to concede a try. But
which one are you talking about? The one they went straight off and the ball came out?
The last one, yeah. So the last scrum in that...
So that was the best scrum in the whole game?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah. But why wasn't... why didn't you guys score?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. Why weren't we rewarded for it? That's what you're asking.
No, I mean...
We didn't get a reward.
It could have been a pushover try, but the ball came out the back and went to the back line.
You don't think there was a clear penalty for it?
No, to be honest, I thought Sharks stayed straight on that one. The other two they didn't, so they were penalised. That one they stayed straight, and you were over the line.
Okay, and you don't think that's a penalty because you're moving back 4 or 3 meters?
I think as long as you don't commit an offence, you can go back as much as you want.
Okay. We might have to look at our rules. No, well, I mean, you asked the question, so that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, Ken, look, let's stop with the semantics. The ball did pop out. We could have controlled it better. That's all that happened.
Just on positive side, so, I mean, that game could have gone either way. It ended a draw anyway. It wasn't a defeat. Just some of the positives from the performances of individuals there. I look at a guy like Stravina Jacobs, who's had a bit of a tough road lately. I mean, you must be thrilled with how he's come through very strongly towards the end of the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, like I said, Koba's played 100 minutes, you know, in his second game. That's unheard of, you know. So it just shows how much grit a guy like that has. We saw Marcel play 90, you know, with a yellow. So that was massive to have him for 90 minutes. And then if you go and look at the backs, I mean, like I said, Goose with a broken nose, you know, stayed on right until the back end. DK at inside centre played 100 minutes. Like you're saying, Stravina, he took knock after knock and he just got up and, he looked like the mummy by the time the game was done because, you know, he was bandaged up. I can't speak highly enough. I mean, Buta also finished the game, 100 minutes. I can't speak highly enough of a guy like Katlego. I really can't. As a youngster, to have come in, play 100 game in the semi and still enforce himself the way he did. I think there's something special there. And then the impacts. And you saw that scrum. That's when the impacts were all on. And we knew that's why we went 6-2. And that's exactly what we were looking for. And again, it's just a pity we didn't have that accuracy, the patience and the accuracy in the back end to really put them away.
Coach, just the beginning of the Currie Cup was under 20, under 21 rugby, but the last 3 or 4 matches, especially the semi-final, how do you compare that to a URC game with the speed of play, the physicality and everything? Would you say it came quite a lot closer, or is there still quite a big gap?
No, I think so, because when you look at the two teams, I think that's what the two teams have now, going into URC. I don't think there's going to be any additions without the Springboks. Leave one or two guys that might be injured from either side. So in terms of the quality, I think that's what we saw. Yes, will they get better as the season goes? Of course they will, because they'll get rhythm both sides. But the players, in terms, that's what we have.
Kevin and Anakom, I wanted to ask you. You looked quite serious. Is he badly injured? Is he out? Is he just?
He's all right. He's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that took hit after hit, and he just got up, and yeah.
Thanks, Lunga. Coach B, do you think it was a correct call at the end for Puta to go for the post there, or do you think you should have rather kicked it out to touch and try another liner, then take from there?
Oh, mate, I trust my players explicitly, and that's the bravery that I wanted. He called for the tee straight on. That was beautiful to see, Like I said, he's going to grow from it, and we'll go strength to strength.
And just one more, do you think that the Currie Cup is in the correct window at this time of the season? I know it was tricky, you had your squad, and then the USC sort of squad came through the last few games.
I think I've spoken about it, yes. Where we found ourselves, where there was, I don't know if you can ever move it to another time, We've seen the attritional rate in the Currie Cup, so it also needs to almost be by itself. You can't play it while URC is on, or EPCR, or any other comp for that matter. So I think where it is at the moment has worked really well, especially with URC having moved those, the first game, especially for the SA sides. So that's been great help.
Just last one, Coach P. You didn't actually lose tonight, but because of the rules for the tries thing, is that a fair situation, or would you have liked to maybe see the penalty shootout kind of thing, or some other way of deciding?
No.